Are you looking to branch out and become more adventurous in your wine selection, but don't quite know how to start? Well, not to worry, because you and I are going wine shopping together. Learn more about those obscure grapes and wine regions where you can find a sensational bottle of wine for criminally low prices. Let's get started exploring and tasting new wines together. We are headed out to sunny Spain, a country that is famous all over the world for its elegant and age-worthy red wines. But it isn't just their red wines that shine. The white wines of Spain can be equally as complex, elegant, and in some cases, age-worthy. If, however, you're looking for a fresher, more youthful, and approachable expression of Spanish white wine, you're also going to find that the price tag is much more approachable, as is the case with this bottle, the La Granja 360, which I got from Trader Joe's for a whopping $5.49 plus tax, which is absolutely insane. So, here's what we need to know about this bottle of wine. It's coming from a region in northern Spain, very long region called Castilla y León, which, like the rest of Spain, as I mentioned before, is very famous for its red wines. And though they are much fewer, the white wines of Castilla y León are just as delicious. The region gets very, very hot and dry during the summer, and then has very cold, harsh winters. You would think the area gets a little more maritime influence because on a map it looks awfully close to the Bay of Biscay, but you may also notice there's a mountain range that blocks the region from the bay, and that mountain range is called Cordillera Cantábrica. So the region gets this nice big swing in temperature between the daytime high and the nighttime low. And this is something in the wine world that we love. Why do we love it so much? Well, it's called a diurnal shift. And we love it because it means that during the day, those grapes get nice sun exposure and they can ripen beautifully, but they don't ripen too much or too quickly. That nighttime cools everything off and preserves the acidity, which we also love, and the structure of the grapes. So speaking of grapes, we have a couple of them that we need to get more familiar with in this bottle. The first grape is called Verdejo, and it grows almost exclusively in the Rueda, which is in Castilla y León. It is often blended, though it usually takes center stage in the blend, as is the case in this bottle, because the Verdejo is about 85% in here. They make really nice, light, fresh, high acid, very zesty and tart wines. The other 15% is a grape called Viura, which is the white grape in a sea of red grapes in a very famous Spanish wine region called the Rioja. Viura has the potential to make both a fresh, youthful, approachable white wine, but it can also make a seriously age-worthy wine that can go for decades, just like Rioja's reds. You'll often find the difference reflected in the price of these wines, with the more age-worthy ones being a lot more expensive. In most of Spain, however, outside of the Rioja, Viura is known by the name Macabeo. You actually may have already had Macabeo because it is one of the main grape varieties in Cava, Spain's very famous sparkling wine. Very pale, very pretty straw color in the glass. And then on the nose, whew. For the price of this wine, there's just a lot going on here. This is a great deal already from my first whiff. So the Verdejo is contributing all these really zesty lime notes popping out of the glass, but also some tropical fruit notes. There's some lovely ripe mango in here, ripe pineapple. And then I think the Viura is really imparting this florality, these delicate white flowers, orchard fruits like apples, melon a little bit as well, and grapefruit. Yeah, the tropical fruits are really shaping up nicely in there as well. Some lychee, passion fruit, orange blossom. It's very fragrant, it's very lovely. I shall taste it. It's got a wonderful viscosity on the palate as well. This isn't quite as lean or mineral or crisp as I would expect it to be. It still is very, very fresh, but it has this roundness and kind of sensuality to it that I quite like. This is how I talk about wine. Sensual. The acidity is lovely. It's not super, super high. The Viura is kind of mellowing out the potential for that Verdejo to be screechingly high acid, which is nice. I think it makes the wine a little more interesting and a little less one note. It's still a delightfully simple wine. I think simple is a word that gets thrown around a lot as a negative in a wine. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. There's plenty going on here, but it's easy. It's lovely, it's fresh. It's not working too hard. It knows exactly what it is, you know? It's not pretending to be this incredibly cerebral, like, oh, you should lay me down for 20 years, because you shouldn't. But it's absolutely elegant. Got plenty of that zest, and the tropical fruits too are really driving here on the palate. It tastes like summer in a glass. It tastes like sunshine in a glass. This is something that is going to be very pairable with a lot of things, especially summer dishes. You know, when you want to eat a little lighter, the salads, fruits, seafood. I would love this with a shrimp ceviche or a lobster roll even. Ooh, that sounds great. Great with pastas, some lighter cheeses, nothing too pungent because it would overpower the wine. It is a little delicate. This is not a super powerful wine, so you wouldn't want to lean towards super powerful foods, but veggies, the absolutely delicious chicken dishes. I just want to keep drinking it. It's very enjoyable on its own as well. So if you're thinking about giving this a try, and you already like Sauvignon Blanc, Granja Verdejo if you've had it, or Albarino if you've had that as well, which is from Spain. Or even if you just like an unoaked Chardonnay that's clean, or with older oak, so it's not imparting a lot of that butter or toasted vanilla notes. I think you'll really, really love this wine. This is a great bottle to share with friends, family, if you're going out to dinner, going over to a house for dinner, if you're going out for a picnic, if you're spending a day by the beach and you're allowed to drink alcohol there, or you're good at hiding your bottle, it's gonna be an absolutely delightful wine. So I hope you go out and grab a bottle of this and taste along with me, and please let me know what you think. And we will taste again, but until then, keep exploring and trying new wines. Cheers.